All right, moving on to The Tale of the Prom Queen. This is a very famous episode for me. It's just one I remember extremely well. There's a couple that are going to be here that I really remember very well. There's some that I'm extremely excited and looking forward to, and a couple of these are these episodes. Now, Prom Queen wasn't one that I was like crazy into, but I just remember it because I think ultimately what made this episode the best for me at the time, like as far as like why I like it, was the twist. I thought the twist was really cool, and as a small kid, I mean, I think I saw this when I was like 10 or whatever, just didn't see it coming, and I thought that the twist was executed really well and it made sense, and yeah, I really liked it. So this is Kristen's story, and she comes dressed up. This becomes her thing. She comes dressed up as characters within her story, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so we we find out that there's this tale. I mean, within the tale, because she's telling the story, and in the story they're telling a story. And the story that they tell is actually pretty damn morbid, to be completely honest. I mean, this girl's waiting for her prom date. The prom date, she is waiting at the graveyard for him. Why she's waiting at the graveyard, I don't know. But she gets swiped by a freaking drunk driver. The kid, who was supposed to go to the prom with her, never got her message, blames himself, and goes and drives this freaking car off of a bridge and kills himself. And so these kids go to investigate this. The kids are a little bit older in this one than usual. Usually they're like 12, 13. But in this episode, they seem like they're like 17, 18, because the prom girl, the prom queen in this is pretty attractive. I mean, she looks like she's at least like 18, 19 years old. She's an older girl. So that's not usual with these episodes. Man, that freaking, you hearing this now? You got to be able to hear this by now. This thing is getting loud and close. I was talking about this earlier in the last review. Oh my God, it's so loud. Talk about creepy. I can't remember if there's any episodes of Tales from the Crypt, from Are You Afraid of the Dark, that have an ice cream truck, but man, I don't know. There's something about those that are creepy. Ice Cream Man with freaking Clint Howard. That's an awesome movie. Anyway, it's far enough now that we can talk about this again. But yeah, so they go investigate, and they find in the paper this gruesome story, and they confirm that this at least has some validity to the story, that these people did die on that night. So the story isn't completely fabricated or an urban legend where there's nothing true in it at all. And so they go out and they hold like a little seance underneath the bridge in a boat, which I thought was actually a really cool setting for a seance. They go on this little rowboat, and they're right below the bridge, and then the motor from the car starts like revving, and the bubbles are coming up as they're doing the seance, and it's like Christine coming back to life. And I really like that. I thought it was a really cool setting. So that, yeah, as I said, I think this is a great episode. Honestly, one of the best. And then, that scares them, of course. And they go back to the cemetery, and they see this pink Cadillac. My God, I guess things were a lot different back then. I don't think a guy would be driving around a pink Cadillac these days, if he was trying to get women anyway. But yeah, he shows up finally because they told him where she was. And then we find out that Dee Dee, the main girl here, was the ghost all along. And it all made sense to the story. Like, she only came back like during that day, that night, and she was there at the graveyard when they met her, and she's only allowed to leave if someone takes them with her, and they find out, she drives off, and the curse is broken. Just great ending. Really cool stuff. Anyway, moving on.